Welcome to the Freedom Camp Podcast, rooted in truth, growing in freedom, and built on the belief that you weren't meant to grow alone. Each week, I'll share honest stories, insights, and simple questions to help you explore the unseen things that keep you from living in the freedom that's already yours. And take brave, intentional steps toward the life you were made for. This is your space to reconnect with your authentic self and grow in freedom on purpose.
Let me tell you the moment someone lost it over a flat sheet. Have you ever had a moment where something tiny sets you off? And even as it happens, part of you is like, what is wrong with me right now? Like you snap or you feel irritated or completely unhinged for a second. And then immediately after, you're like, that's not even a big deal. Why do I even care? We had this come up in Freedom Camp this week. Someone was making the bed. They were in a hurry to get out the door, and they forgot the flat sheet. And she just lost it for a second. And she shared it in Freedom Camp and said, "This is embarrassing. Why am I coming completely unhinged over a stupid sheet?" And I sat there thinking, exactly. That's exactly the question, isn't it? Because it's not actually about the flat sheet. It's when you need to get this done now and you can't be late, or when you think that you should have given yourself more time to do something, or when everyone else is doing something fun and you're the one doing all the work, or when your kid ignores you, or your husband says something in a certain way. It's when something small just hits wrong. And it feels so disproportionate. Like the moment is small and your reaction feels big. And then comes the second wave. Now you're frustrated at the situation and judging yourself for your reaction or for your frustration. And that's the part that really gets heavy because now we're in shame, blame, guilt, and all the other things that are not free. So here's the shift. It's not actually about the thing. It's about what the thing touches, what's underneath it. Because when we slowed down in the session, what came up underneath it was, it feels disrespectful. It feels like I don't matter. It feels like I'm being ignored. And suddenly, we're not talking about a flat sheet anymore. We're talking about something deeper, something that's already there. And these moments, they don't just come out of nowhere. They reveal something. And most of the time, it's something we haven't fully processed, acknowledged, or even given ourselves permission to feel. And that's where it gets interesting, because there's usually a pattern that follows. We get triggered, we react, and then we go, oh, why am I like this? This is so dumb. I shouldn't feel this way. Why am I yelling right now? And then what do? We avoid it. We distract. We overthink. We people please. We shut down. We literally do anything but actually sit with what's underneath. So we're not just reacting to the moment. We're reacting to everything underneath and then try to outrun it. And that's why the reaction feels so big compared to what's actually going on. So, in classic Freedom Camp podcast style, I want to share a very practical, simple thing that you can try. In those moments, instead of asking, why does this bother me so much? Try asking, what's going on underneath? And specifically, what am I feeling underneath? Not the story, not the situation, which you may need to go through the story and the situation some to get to the feeling. But you want to get to the feeling because that's where the real work is. So, for example, I feel like I'm being ignored. Okay, now you've identified the feeling. Now you get to feel the feeling and let the feeling flow through you so that you can be free of the feeling, knowing the feeling may return. And if it does, you rinse and repeat. The best part of this, though, this is all in your control. You don't have to wait for anything to change. You get to determine how you feel about a thing and how you let that feeling flow through you so that you can be free from the swampy underneath thing. So then you're not getting triggered, or you're not getting triggered as often, or you're not getting triggered in the same way. Because if you're anything like me, there's multiple things that can trigger you. So we end up kind of doing this onesie twosie, and or you start to get free from, for example, feeling like you're ignored. And that becomes something that you separate from. And then you don't get triggered by it anymore. So you're not crazy. You're just finally close enough to yourself to actually feel what's going on underneath. This is exactly the kind of work that we do inside Freedom Camp every week. It's not a surface level fix. It's a deep learning how to actually see what's going on underneath your reactions so that you can respond differently, so that you can live differently, so that you can grow in freedom. The doors are actually open right now through May 3rd. We only open the doors 3 times a year. So if you've been feeling the nudge and you want to stop reacting in ways that you don't even like, if you want to dig into this kind of work weekly with an incredible supportive group of women, this is your time. This is your invitation. Come join us.
Thanks for listening to the Freedom Camp podcast, where we believe freedom is nurtured from within and grows when you tend to it. If this stirred something in you, let it take root this week and see what grows. And if you enjoyed this or found it meaningful, please give the gift of a review, share it with a friend, and leave a comment below. It helps us build this podcast community because we weren't meant to grow alone.